Representative Ortitay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Good morning.
I have the same problem that Representative Powell was talking about, permitting delays. In the Southwest Regional Office, the average expedited erosion and sediment control permit takes about 200 days, sometimes more, to be reviewed, instead of the 14 days that they're to be processed per your own agency's policy. Rep. Powell mentioned that you acknowledge similar permits are turned around in 35 to 40 days in other offices. And while I appreciate your pledge to right this wrong, I've been getting some feedback directly from some of the companies in my district. I just want to share with them. There's just 3 points. Permit reviewers tend to re-engineer projects. Staff primarily in the Southwest Regional Office seems to question the knowledge and expertise of engineering and consulting firms who have been in the field and who put their engineering know-how on the line every time they complete a permit. The next one, most efficiencies are not based in statute or regulation, simply the reviewer's personal preferences with no environmental benefit. And the last one, we operate in neighboring states of Ohio and West Virginia, both shale states, and we do not encounter similar unpredictability and uncertainty in either. The delays experienced uniquely in Pennsylvania have a profound impact on our operations. Now, with that said, given that these problems aren't really that new and the administration's had a couple years to really address this, what can we expect moving forward, and what are your plans?
Sure. Well, a couple things. One, as I say, we're moving forward with some IT improvements. Some of what that gives us really insight in 2 areas, right? One is, as we have electronic permitting, it means the applications we get in are more complete. It means there are areas, the math is right because it's figuring that out on its own. It means the information's right. 2, some of this is about training for our own staff, which I won't say more about. But 3, one of the other things we've done is started connecting our reviewers with consultants writing applications outside of the permit process, so that we can just talk process. How is the process working from their end? How's the process working from our end? And start to identify those areas where we can make process improvements throughout. I will say, I know, we did a study of some of these permits and found that there were deficiencies throughout a lot of the permits. I took that not as a let's scrap this, but more as a how do we make this program better, make this program work, and that's something we're engaged in now.
Have you reached out to the consultants or the engineers at this point?
We started within pipelines in 102 and 105. We're proceeding in a stepwise way through different areas. Frankly, problems that we're encountering in one area we tend to have in some others, so working through each of these in a systematic way is where we've been going.
Have there been any, and I don't need specific names, but have there been any repeat offenders who maybe haven't filled out the permit application properly and that's why it's getting kicked back? And is there anything that you guys have done at DEP to advise them in certain areas?
That's frankly one of the reasons why we wanted to get folks into the room, is so we can talk about what are we seeing on the deficiency side. They can talk about what is their experience with us, so we know where are the training needs, both internally and externally. How do we get together and resolve those?
Do you have a timeline?
We had the initial meetings at the end of last year. We're going to be doing a follow-up meeting next month. In addition, as I said, we've been doing a similar exercise under the 102, 105 program on an ongoing basis now, as leading into some other permit changes there. So my hope is that we start seeing that later this year in terms of some of the improvement.
Okay. I would just ask that you keep us or my office involved, just so we can know what the timeline is. And
absolutely.
And because I know I would definitely have a few volunteers in my district be more than willing to come to the table to talk with you guys.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Yeah, thank you.